p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And look who's joining me, as promised, my daughter Harmony, who just needs to step a little closer this way, yeah, because we've got this very narrow camera here. So I am so excited to be cooking with Harmony today, and actually she's teaching me, which I kind of like.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I'm excited. I feel like I don't have much to bring to the table, and this may be kind of novice for most people, but I've got a few tools in my handbag, and this is one of them. Tools in my tool belt. Handbag?
In your handbag,
yeah. A few tools in my tool belt, and this is just one of them.
Did you catch the pun? You said I don't bring a lot to the table. No pun intended.
Yes, that's true. I don't in the kitchen bring a lot to the table. Pun intended.
Pun intended. So I just wanted to show you, actually I was thinking about this, how fun it would be to kind of interview you just a bit before we get started. Okay. So I pulled this out of the garden today. Here is a cucumber. Here is a normal size cucumber. What did you think when you first started seeing these cucumbers coming out last year? Do you remember how big they were?
Yeah, they were great. I saw one just the other day. They were, I just can't believe it.
6 pounds, 5 ounces.
I cut this one on accident. I didn't realize we were showing it.
That's okay, that's okay.
I was not scared by it the way you were though.
Oh, what do you mean?
You always post, I'm a little scared of this.
Well, I mean, when you pull out a cucumber that's as big as a child I once gave birth to, I mean, you'd be scared of it too, right?
Yeah, but yes, they're beautiful.
I know, and these are so, when they're small like this, when I catch them in time before they grow the size of my,
does it change the flavor when you?
You know what? They get just a little bit less sweet, and you'll see how sweet these are. This one is as we go along, and then we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these eggplants out this morning. So let's see who's here. So Joy Gallo is here. Hey, Joy. And Don Winderman. Don started joining us yesterday. He was a great conversationalist. So Don, so happy to have you here again today.
Hi, Don.
And Brenda Mills.
Oh, hi, Brenda.
Yeah, and Frank Sully is here. Did you see the interview with Frank yesterday?
I miss Frank, but I see Frank's posts on all the barbecue, gather, all the competitions.
Yes, and he's here every day. Yes, he's an over-the-road driver, and I thought
he had a restaurant.
No, he's a truck driver, and he drives all over the country, and every day at 3:30, no matter where, or 3 o'clock, hi gals, every day at 3 o'clock he stops driving, because sometimes when he's in the East Coast, of course it's easier to stop driving. But he's here, so Brenda says hi. And
drive safe, Frank.
Susie Foreman, yes, drive. Susie Foreman says hi.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, gals. So, so what did you think of your mother when suddenly she built a garden? What were your thoughts?
What were my thoughts?
Yes, in all honesty.
Well, do they know how bad of a cook you were?
Well,
back when?
Okay, I've said so, but I'm not sure if they actually believe the story.
Okay, so I can fully attest to this, is that every day growing up, and I'm sure now my kids will say the same thing, because who has time to cook?
It's hard.
But every day growing up, it was chicken for dinner. Chicken, orange chicken, lemon chicken, Hawaiian chicken, barbecue chicken, whatever. It was chicken every single night, which were probably a product of the times also.
It was.
Okay.
That is true.
Well, so now I don't even eat chicken. But it just was really tired, and I think that's what happens when you just get stuck in a rut in life. You just, Monday night's this night, which has to do with what my meal is today, because we make this at least once a week, but you get stuck in a rut and you just run out of fresh ideas.
You do.
I think that's probably what happened, and I feel a little bit bad that I would sit at the table and go, this is disgusting, every single night for dinner, as sometimes my kids do, and then I have to make a second dinner, which is not fun at all. But
right. Well, you were teenagers, and it was
cool to criticize your parents.
Yes.
So anyway,
and she had plenty to criticize. I would agree. Did you ever see me open a cookbook?
No.
I never had.
No, we didn't have cookbooks.
No, we didn't. Other people did, but I couldn't read a cookbook.
You had recipe cards and recipe, handwritten notes that somebody had given you at some point. Yes, Chicken Susan Faust. That was the one I forgot to mention. And we, at one point, you tried to get creative and here's my list, and Mondays we're going to do this, and next week I'm going to freshen it up, and I think we all try to do that too, and it just,
I know.
It's too hard.
It's hard. It's really, really hard, but here we are. And it's really
so back to your question.
Yes.
When you wanted to have well, first when you just started cooking dinner parties that were actually fresh and fun, and Giada and Ina and this and that, everybody was like, oh, who knew? And then you realized you actually could do it.
I know.
So the garden was sort of a natural progression.
It was, but did you actually understand the evolution of how I discovered Ina and Giada and all of that?
Well, I thought you used to watch it when you would babysit.
Yes, that is true.
Right?
That's exactly.
I think it was just you guys would fall asleep on the couch. You'd pass the time. There's nothing on in the middle of the day. Here's the Food Network or HGTV.
Well, it actually started even earlier, and I don't even know if you remember this, but when you were in labor with Liv, you had the Food Network on in the background in that room for 3 days.
I don't remember.
I have to tell you.
I don't remember anything
for 3
happening,
days.
which is kind of sad because I couldn't eat in that room. So I don't know why we would torture ourselves, or I would torture myself. But
I think that and it was my first introduction to it. Like I never ever watched the Food Network before, and so it was on when you were in labor. And then after Liv was born, every time I came over to your house, you actually had it playing in the background.
I think maybe when I was on maternity leave, it was HGTV or Food Network.
But when I came, it was always on Food Network. And so, hey, Cynthia. Does that say Cynthia? Oh, no, it says Christina Rubino. Hi.
Christina.
Yeah, hi. That's so nice.
Happy birthday to Christina's oldest son today.
Oh, today? Oh, my gosh. I remember when he was born.
I just saw on her Insta. Hopefully I wasn't watching it too late, but.
Yeah, okay. And so when Liv started coming here, and I started babysitting her for that first year, she would wake up from her nap every day at 2 o'clock, and I thought to myself, okay, I need something on in the background, like usually the news is running or something like that, and I just didn't want any of that energy in this room when I was with her. And so I thought, oh, well, Harmony always had on the Food Network when she came into the world, blah, 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 blah. And so I turned on the Food Network every day. She woke up from her nap about 1:45. I would change her diaper, bring her into the room, and give her a bottle, turn on TV. 2 o'clock every single day was Ina, followed by Giada. And that is how the whole thing started for me.
And here we are now.
And which is why, why I love the whole cooking with Liv and, the whole thing.
I just heard an interview today with Padma
With
Lakshmi. Padma from Top Chef. Padma, the judge of Top. Yeah,
I don't watch.
Everybody,
do you watch?
Okay.
I know.
She's
do you
very,
watch Top
she's very
Chef?
famous author, and anyway, she cookbooks and everything, and she wrote a kids book about cooking and talked about I thought of you and talked about how it should be a generational thing and how they should you should involve kids and teach them to garden, because if they appreciate how food is made and where it comes from, they'll always appreciate nutrition. And I thought that was a great point, which is what you've always been saying, but never didn't articulate in such a way. But anyway, I'll find. I can't remember the name of the book.
Well, you know what I love about that? There's this scene in Father of the Bride where she comes downstairs to go out for dinner with her fiance, and her dad says, it's kind of chilly tonight. Why don't you go back upstairs and put on your sweater? No, Dad, I'm fine. I don't need a sweater. No, really, you need to put your sweater on. It's a little bit chilly outside. And she goes, no, I'm fine, Dad. And then the fiance says, it is a little chilly. And she goes, it is? Okay, I'll be right back.
I'll grab my sweater.
She runs upstairs and she puts on her sweater. And I kind of feel like sometimes when we do these things, like it's, you hear it from me, but you hear it from me when someone else in another way says it, where it's not.
It resonated a little bit different the way she articulated it. Not that you don't, but it just was the same. It was the same concept of just but the way she said it was well rehearsed.
Well, that's true, and I'm just kind of talking in the morning at 7 a.m., right?
Yeah.
But I do know this one thing, and this is what really inspired me, and this is really what I hope to do for you, Russell, for the kids, and it is a generational thing. And in a time that you were not raised in, mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers and grandfathers, like your grandfather, Dad's grandpa, was an amazing Italian cook. And all the men...
My great-grandfather, you mean?
No, your...
Grandpa Lou.
Grandpa Lou.
Yeah, you said Dad's grandfather is what you said.
Oh, well, his grandfather and his dad.
Yeah, but right, he used to cook Italian sausages.
Oh, Romy's there. Say hi.
Hi, Romy.
And so, and it was generational,
and Freddie with all of his recipes.
Yes,
as another perfect example.
Exactly. And the thing is you learn techniques because on the weekends everybody came together and cooked big vats of everything in order that everybody could take some home for the week, right? And you learned the difference between a tablespoon and a teaspoon, and you learned how to use a dry measure, and you learned these different techniques. And I heard somebody just the other day, and all of you will appreciate this. I was watching somebody, and I was watching him, on one of the cooking shows where he said, do you see this pot of sauce? Do you see this pot of sauce? And he inhaled it and he said, that's my grandmother.
Yeah,
that's my grandmother.
They talked about that on this interview that I was listening. It was the same thing. It was like, and then you taste it and you remember, and then you keep it alive for generations to come.
Yes.
So
when I make chicken soup, I smell like grandmother.
So no one's going to think of me when they make what I'm making today.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to segue really horribly into this, but basically this is should we get to it? Or
let's get to it. But I do want to say, let's say hi to Tawny Bennett White, who's here, and Judy Daly Neal said, do a cookbook of the Italian recipes. If I could find them, I think, Julie, they left with my father-in-law.
Well, Grandma might have some.
Grandma may have some. I mean, Dad
in the freezer.
In the freezer. Oh God! At least she doesn't watch
Facebook.
Have Facebook. Okay.
We're at the phase where things get frozen, made early on, and then frozen, and then a few weeks later, when we come over, we get to enjoy them fresh from the freezer. They were good recipes weeks prior.
Dawn said,
everybody has a relative who does that. They all know someone who does that.
Yeah.
It's okay. Grandma Lois doesn't have Facebook. Okay,
well, at least she could. Food memories are the best, Dawn says, and they really, really are. It's what unites us as a people, and really, the most basic of human instincts is to feed ourselves and certainly to feed our children. And we want to make sure we're feeding with the proper nutrition. Really, like nutritional value is what's important. I kind of choke on that because sometimes I get so passionate about, a drive-through, like going through. Oh, Lisa's here. Say hi to Lisa.
Hi, Auntie Lisa. But also, you need to. I know you're in the middle of something, but Margaret's watching, which means
Margaret. I didn't see Margaret.
That my little guy is up from his nap, and he's probably watching too. So.
Oh, she said. Jack said hi.
Aww.
Oh my God! I wish we could bring him on camera. Wouldn't that be so cute?
Bubba's.
And Harmony. She said. So yeah, Harmony's here. I've been promoting her all week.
Oh, have you?
For last week, yeah. I've been promoting you for the last week. So okay. Let's get to it.
So,
tell us what you're making. I'm going to turn the air down just one bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And will you get me a Pellegrino?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have 2 kids, as you guys all know, because you've seen them here before. My daughter is 6.5, and my little guy is 1.5 years. So we're very, very busy. We're at 2 different phases of life, as everybody can experience. I work full time. My husband works full time. We have an incredible au pair who's home with the little guy right now, and they're watching. But we're a really busy family, as everybody is, right? Everybody's just so busy these days.
It gets worse, believe me.
And it gets worse. So my daughter is very involved in all the activities, doing all the things. We go to school all day. We run to gymnastics. We run to this. We run to that. So I have a few things that I make on a regular basis. I do try to cook 4 days a week, maybe 3, but I try to cook 4 days a week because it's just better, and we eat better when I cook. So.
Yes, you do.
Well, we just eat healthier, right? When we're not like Postmating or picking up pizza or Chipotle or whatever it is that we're doing. Okay, so this is one of the things that I make. This is by no means a novel recipe it's not something that anybody has probably ever, you've all heard of this before. But we make sushi bowls, and they're really fun. They're really easy. They taste really good. You can kind of shake them up so you get beyond that kind of boring thing that you do every single week when you're making the same thing over and over. You can really change it up, and it all sort of depends on what's in the fridge at the time. So we go shopping and we're saying, okay, this week we are gonna have the sushi bowls, but it sort of depends what extra veggies I have laying around, what veggies maybe we picked up here, what's fresh, what's not, what we haven't tossed yet. So to get started,
put those there as well.
Yeah, so the tomatoes. So that's what's great about it, is you have to have the staples to make it. But beyond that, everything else is sort of just whatever's left in the fridge gets to go in the bowl, and whatever you're feeling like, whichever sauces, however you want to make it. So
this came out of the garden today too. Look at that. That is a cherry tomato that was on its way to being far bigger than a cherry, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't love tomatoes, but yeah, that's great. So the cool thing about this is you can make it as healthy or as naughty as you want to make it, and whatever you're sort of in the mood for.
Healthy or naughty?
Yeah, well, right. There's only 2 ways, right? There's healthy and there's not. So, do we just get started? What do we do?
Yeah, get started.
Okay.
But I'll say, Susie said I have to go, but I will watch later. Thank you. And Christina Rubino said, I love making and eating sushi bowls or any protein veggie bowls.
Yeah.
And Christina's a very, very healthy eater.
Yes.
I know that.
And so here's the thing about that, is that when you go to some of these sushi bowl places, and that's sort of how I got into this, is that there was one downtown near where I work, and it has subsequently closed, but you get them and then you end up feeling kind of sick afterwards because the sauces
MSG.
Yeah, the sauces are heavy. I don't even know if it's MSG. The sauces are just heavy and you just end up picking things that you wouldn't have bought for yourself to buy at home. Like you end up getting the wonton crunchies or whatever it is, and in the middle of the day at work, you don't want to sit through the rest of the day after you eat like that. So the cool thing about this is that you get to customize it, of course, because it's yours and it's at home. So
say hi to Teresa Anderson.
Hi, Teresa Anderson. So we start with, okay, so, Nanny Bubby makes everything fresh. It comes from the garden. We do a lot of Trader Joe's pre-made things. So we're gonna kind of tell you 2 ways you can do this, but a lot of this is how you can do it quick and easy because we're getting home from gymnastics. There's homework happening across the table from me. I'm yelling at everybody that it's almost bath time and it's just time to move. So a lot of this is quick and easy, but you can also make it as gourmet as you want. So I start with the Trader Joe's jasmine rice.
Yes, and I'm gonna show them that box.
Okay, so this box, I don't think I'm telling anybody anything that they don't already know, but
no,
you can get.
Honest with you, I'm going to tell you, I think that making rice for me is a technique that it's very difficult. So actually, Maria is
hi,
here.
Maria.
Yeah, and Sunny is here as well. So thank you guys for all being here. So this is jasmine rice. It comes from Trader Joe's, and they come in these packets. It's 3 minutes. And it's done. And it is rice that is perfect. And if you've ever actually made pot rice,
yeah, it's a disaster.
It's a disaster. It never,
even like the Instapot, like, oh, this is easy. It's gonna take no time. It's perfect rice every time. Mine literally stuck to the bottom and then I spent an hour cleaning it out. So get yourself the Trader Joe's rice, 3 minutes in the microwave. You cut the top,
a little closer,
put it in. Closer, okay.
Yes, and Teresa says, I love TJ's jasmine and brown rice, me too.
Yep, so that's, everybody's right. They've got the jasmine, they've got the brown rice, and they have quinoa that you can do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is great because I make quinoa a lot and I have the same problem where I burn it. So
Julie Neal says the same thing about the brown rice.
Yeah, the brown rice is great.
These girls know.
So I do the jasmine rice only because I just feel like it kind of goes better with sushi, but certainly brown rice does too, and probably quinoa. So we're also gonna make it with a salad base. So if you don't want to use rice for whatever reason, you can do a salad base. So do you want to be in charge of the salad bowl? I'll do the brown rice, or
yes.
I'll do the jasmine rice. Okay, so here's
that. Okay. So Mr. Letizia wouldn't eat the rice, but she knows that, and so she translated that recipe for us over here in the other Letizia household. That's a Letizia Flynn household.
So here's what I like to do. Here's Deborah. Hi, Deborah. So what I like to do is I do individual bowls. I think they're gonna do it more of like a shared bowl and it's one size fits all, but in my house, one of us likes tomatoes, one of us likes onions, we all like different things, we use different sauces. So I get 2 kind of big, deep cereal bowl type things, and I just do 2 as I go. So for this one, we're gonna do the jasmine rice.
Which I had, but somebody was helping me clean out my cupboards and she said, you don't use those bowls, give them away.
And they were probably ugly. And outdated.
They were ugly and outdated, but they would have worked for this recipe. Okay.
I'm a no clutter person. Okay, so I'm starting with the rice base.
And I'm starting with the salad.
Just transferred it from one bowl to another. Okay, so then...
squeeze in.
Okay, well, I'm getting the salmon.
Okay. I would have got it for you, but go ahead.
Okay, so we pre-cut and cubed most of the salmon. So I get the salmon and my mom got the salmon, the sashimi, from Whole Foods. I think you could probably go to a market and get it, right, like an Asian market and get it. Sushi style, quality, really delicious and great.
Have you ever shopped at an Asian market?
No, and I'm like a little intimidated because I don't know what to ask for or what to do. So Whole Foods does the trick for me. I usually buy, this is how it comes packaged. I usually buy just one of these, and this is enough for us to split it. We got 3 today so that we can do 2 separate things to show you, but it's, it's fresh, it's good. I wouldn't let this sit for too long before making it, and I think obviously you guys all know that better than I would.
Yeah, I think that you buy it the day you're gonna use it,
or the next day at a max.
For sure. Okay, so you're gonna show them how to cut it?
Okay, so.
And I'm gonna just show them this one thing so while you're doing
go ahead.
this. So I'm gonna take this, cucumber, cut it in half. I'm gonna cut it then lengthwise. Okay. And then I'm going to take this grapefruit spoon, which was just here, like this, and I'm just gonna scrape out all these seeds. I'm gonna do it over there while she shows you how to cut the sashimi, so go ahead.
Okay, so I think at one point the Whole Foods here in Summerlin used to do tuna and salmon, and I'm not sure what changed or what happened, but the
COVID changed.
Maybe, I don't know, but the last few months I've only noticed the salmon, which is totally fine. They're salmon bowls, but I think this would be really good to do a tuna bowl also. I think a nice trick too, if you want a little more flavor, a little more kick, is you could marinate this in some soy sauce or tamari, coconut aminos. I think that would be good too. If you want just a little extra flavor, you could marinate the salmon, or teriyaki sauce if you wanted a teriyaki salmon. So that's one way to do it too. Okay, so
slice that down the middle for me.
Here, go ahead.
Okay. Boy, this is kind of tough, this one. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a little bit embarrassing. I have zero technique. I'm literally just laying these out here.
No.
And I'm just cutting them. I'm just cubing them. I think a really sharp knife is good because otherwise it gets a little like stringy, I would say.
Uh-huh.
I would cut them down the middle. This is probably the most delicate I've ever been doing this because usually it's just a really fast slice and go situation. So I'm just cutting them down the middle and then cutting them into cubes. And by
So
cubes,
I think,
they're,
I don't
they're
know,
by no means
did you
perfect
see
cubes.
the post that I made, I think on Monday maybe, where I said that cooking is a practice? So Allison, Allison Sternfarb is here, all right. And let's see. And she,
Allison is my bestie from college.
yes. So you have to take one
Okay,
step.
so
take one step.
I'm hogging the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm just cutting this.
No, but I was asking you a question.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see the post that I made on Instagram that said that cooking is a practice?
Yeah, I saw
Like
all of this.
yoga, like
Yep.
meditation.
This
like
goes
everything
against
else?
everything you've said because you say take your time, enjoy it. It's a whole process, have fun. I'm just trying to get dinner on the table. So yes, it is a practice, but
Well, but it is a practice to get to that point. So if you don't just start where you are,
right.
then it does get easier.
Yeah, it does.
By
right.
the
Like
time
you're-
your kids are 18 years old, you'll have it down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll be able to actually enjoy putting dinner on the table, but for now,
Yeah.
we're just trying to get food in mouths. So, my kids don't eat this, by the way, so I'm not even trying to pretend like they do. Okay, so here's all of our salmon. It's all cut with my technique. Okay, so we're gonna start filling the bowls. Do we want to get this out of the way?
Oh, Allison said she loves your top.
Oh, thanks. I know, these sleeves were not made for cooking, and I wasn't really thinking about cooking. I was just more worried about fashion, but the truth is this isn't how I actually end up cooking because when I get home, I'm just wearing what I wore to work all day, and sometimes it's a bit of a mess. Okay, so I'm gonna start filling the bowls. It's sort of like the Chipotle of sushi bowls. So I kind of just put it all off to the side a little bit for mine, you use for yours.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna make room for all of the components to just go on the plate. So
Okay.
here, you can take yours.
Okay.
You wanna put it on?
Do I just follow you? In other words, what you do to the rice bowl, I do to the salad bowl?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, just so we can show what they both
Okay. All right.
look like. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Wait,
No.
I'm trying to get organized.
oh here,
so I
just,
can.
just put it on the plate.
Okay.
All right.
There we
So
go.
there's just like a big giant bowl. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
All right. So here's our salmon. I'm gonna put it back in the fridge.
Okay. Now I have these cucumbers. You want me to cut the cucumbers?
Yeah, cut the cucumbers. Okay, so one other thing that I love to put in these in these sushi bowls that we forgot to buy is seaweed salad, and you can get that in the Whole Foods section. It's a little loud. Okay, you can get these in the Whole Foods section at Whole Foods, or the sushi section at Whole Foods. So you know they've got like, well, at the Summerlin one, but I'm sure all of them. And they've got the pre-made food section. They've got the pre-made sushi. That's where you get the sashimi. They also have edamame containers. The edamame's in the shell. And then they have seaweed salad, and then they have like dumplings and all other kinds of things. You can grab whatever you want and add it to this. I think it'd be delicious. But we usually get the seaweed salad. It's filling and it's really good and it's healthy, and I wouldn't pretend to try to make that myself because I think there's just something in it that they make it in where you get it when you get it at restaurants and Whole Foods that makes it really delicious. So we forgot that, but it's really filling and it's really good, and I think it's pretty healthy.
I'm sure. So let me ask you a question. When
yeah.
you like plan meals and you guys go to the grocery store, do you do like one night, do you do Asian one night, Mexican food? what do you like? Put themes to what you do?
Not intentionally, but it ends up being like a taco night of some kind. We have these at least one night. We have like a fish and vegetable night. Last night we did a make your own pizza with the kids. Yeah, so that was fun.
Did Liv make the pizza crust?
Liv made the pizza and the mess. And anyway, so just there's not a lot of thought that goes into it. We're at the store and we're like, what looks good, what doesn't, and that's just unfortunately how it happens.
And how many like fruits and vegetables do you buy? Like when you go to the grocery store, do you guys go on Saturday or Sunday?
We go mostly Sunday.
That way it's fresh for the week.
We usually have to go on Friday too and buy like more eggs, more bread, more fruit for the weekend. How much fruit do we buy? It depends. It's like sometimes we'll buy a Costco size thing of raspberries, for example, and everybody eats raspberries and that's the only fruit everybody wants all week. And so the next week we go back and we buy an even bigger size and then nobody wants a single raspberry. So, I mean, there's literally no rhyme or reason to what they want to eat and when they want to eat it. Some nights it's we only want white nectarines and some nights it's, you know, these taste weird. And
isn't that so weird?
I don't know.
I mean,
I can't explain it.
And this is like what happens. And this is why when you were a teenager, you would like,
it's horrible.
Because I was like, well, last week this is what you wanted, but this week this isn't what you want.
Yeah,
so
it's just you can't explain it, and so and sometimes it's this macaroni and cheese, sometimes it's not. I would cut these smaller next time, just like into little cubes, so that they fit better in our bowl.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
It was making noise, so I hurried through.
Okay.
Okay. So here is the pepper, and of course, it's washed with the food grade hydrogen peroxide, right? Harmony has her own bottle that I fill for her.
I do no matter how busy we are, just because you got me hooked on it, and now I feel like that's the only way my stuff is clean.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not.
Yeah. Well, with hands, like who touched this and decided if it was a good pepper or not before I picked it up?
Oh, well, everybody washes their vegetables, but yeah.
Right, but oils from your hand, they don't come off.
Yeah, okay.
So if someone touched this that wasn't too desirable, like the Amazon choppers, okay. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Okay, so did you guys see how I did that? And then I'll just like go through and...
That was, this process of cutting peppers was a game changer for me because then you never get the seeds in.
You never get the rind.
You never get the rind. That was an Ina trick, right?
It was an Ina trick.
Okay, so the seaweed salad would normally go in. Okay, so here's the other thing. Usually I buy the edamame at Whole Foods. It's in a shell. It's a major pain because I'm sitting there trying to de-shell all the edamame out of the pods. Okay, you were right. I did go that way when it was supposed to go this way. Yeah. Okay, so my mom did the shopping and... I
have waited almost 40 years for her to say you were right.
Okay, so she did the shopping. She was at Trader Joe's and picked up the edamame out of the shells, ready to eat with the sea salt, perfect, ready to go for busy people, no better way. So I don't know why when I go to Trader Joe's I don't just do that because I'm always like fighting.
Well, I'll tell you why, because you probably look for it in the wrong section. It's not the freezer section where I went looking for it in the first place. It's in the fresh vegetable section.
Okay, well that makes
sense.
It's not
right
frozen.
Underneath where the herbs are in Trader Joe's. Yeah, and that's where you find it.
So we'll add the edamame to the bowl.
Can you say I'm right again? Just say it again. You're right.
Well, that's not why I don't get it now. I just am at Whole Foods buying stuff for the sushi.
No, I'm just saying I love hearing you say you're right. You're right.
Okay, so there's edamame. All right, we're gonna add the peppers. We picked up some mango salsa from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's?
Whole Foods.
Okay, it smells delicious. It's got like jalapenos in it. It's got onions in it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna add this to the middle also.
Let me just, and if you guys are having trouble seeing anything we're doing, just write in the chat, hey, show that to the camera, because we can see everything perfectly from our angle, just sometimes forget about your angle. And then let me just show them the shelled edamame. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? So green and just so pretty.
Okay,
I love that.
So this is good because it's got a lot of flavor to it, and it's kind of like it's already got a little bit of dressing in it because just the juices from the mango. And so this morning I was like, oh, grab a mango because that would be a good thing to shake it up, is just to put a mango in it. And she's like, do you know how to cut a mango? And I said, absolutely not. Buy mango salsa instead. I was honestly thinking about a canned mango salsa. I don't know, like in a jar. Not canned,
yes,
in a jar.
Yeah, a jar. They do make jarred mango salsa, but it's not fresh. And
right.
honestly,
and this smells good. It looks good. I think it's going to be a nice complement to this meal.
That's beautiful. Here, let me pull it over here. So this is a salad. This is my salad coming together. Just show your bowl arm. This looks beautiful, actually. Dad's gonna love this. Go ahead. No, up to the camera, babe. So it's really the same. It's the same ingredients, but this is salad and that's a bowl with rice. And it just depends what you like, right?
Yep. So we'll do the avocado next.
And you like avocado, so you can use the whole thing because Dad won't eat it.
Okay, I love avocado. I buy a couple of them. And do you have a hack when it comes to buying avocados? Like, you know when you go to a restaurant and they slice an avocado and they're like, avocados extra or whatever, and it's like perfectly sliced, always green, perfect.
Yes.
Like why? I have to buy like 3 of them to get one that I love.
So Nanny Bubby visited Rossi
yeah.
Avocados,
And what
right?
they say, I couldn't watch.
Okay, so what Rossi said was this. Let me find this.
I'm gonna start slicing this while she's
No,
getting.
don't.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just gonna show you.
Okay.
So this is basically a butter knife, right? It's a plastic knife. And if the avocado you're working on, I'm actually using the back of the knife, strangely enough, if it will not slice with a butter knife and just a dull knife, it's not ready to go.
Well,
so that's
yeah,
the first thing.
So that part I got.
All right, then.
That's not my problem. I know, I can feel if it's too tough. Then you
Okay.
open it up and it's a mushy mess.
Well,
How do you know it's not gonna be?
you don't.
I guess you don't either.
Well,
this one's not looking too great.
no, well, you started cutting
Yeah.
it before I got into it. So here, let me just do this. So here is my trick to avocados. So watch this. I have to get a paring knife, so give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay.
So normally what I do with the avocado is the seed, is it a seed or a pit? Okay, so normally mine is still stuck in there and I do one of these karate chops
Right,
really
don't do
hard
that. Yeah.
on the pit, and then I'm able to pull it out, and then I use the other side that I cut, I use the skin from that to grab this off because it's usually like greasy, and that's my very sophisticated way of doing that.
I use paper towels.
Okay.
So the way that I cut avocados is you cut it in the shell. So
That's what I do.
Okay, you go down.
Yep.
And down.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, I didn't get all the way. And down. And down. If you want, you can go around the edge, which I don't really ever do.
I never do that.
I don't usually either.
Because usually then it just comes right out.
And then now I'm going to cut it across,
Yep.
right? So that's diced now.
And then just like peel it out.
Well, you can, or you can just take a spoon like this.
Yeah.
And go around the edge like that.
And then just throw it on top.
And then it just dive bombs, right?
Yeah. This avocado actually does look good.
Yeah. Right?
A couple little pieces that are brown. Okay, so let's do that one.
Okay.
And then, so these are really, the 2 that we've done are really big because we just couldn't find the right size bowl and we had a lot to show. But you don't want to fill them so high like what we're doing, because you want to be able to mix it up so that you can get all the tastes
And
all
I
the time.
think what also can be fun is, we were talking charcuterie boards. And by the way, charcuterie means flesh. So anything with
The word charcuterie?
Yeah, char means flesh for meat. So in this case, fish.
Is it French?
It's French.
Okay.
And coud means cook. So it's anything with cooked meat, basically. So, you think that, it could only be, a charcuterie bowl could only be meats and cheeses and, olives and capers and...
Allison Sternleib, did you know that that's what charcuterie meant? She's the charcuterie connoisseur.
Is she?
She is.
Yeah.
Yep. I wonder if she knew the origin of the word.
Yes, it's French.
But then how did cheese get on the plate?
It just did. And because my point of bringing that up, and I learned this from Lene actually, is the point of bringing it up is that a charcuterie board can be anything with meat on it. Anything with cooked meat is charcuterie. So when I did the taco charcuterie board, of course, right?
Yeah.
Right?
So if there's no meat, it's not a charcuterie board.
It would not technically.
Like if it's cheese and fruit and nuts.
Right, but you could make a pizza charcuterie.
Got
but
it.
in this case, you can make a sushi charcuterie board.
She learned something new.
Yes, where you can put the salad, the rice, the sushi, sashimi, the salsa, the cucumber, the pepper, the tomatoes.
Let's put the tomatoes on the bowls or no?
If you'd like, want to. And I just want to show you, because this is what can be so fun.
Am I supposed to talk while you're gone?
Now that we're talking about it, Usually I keep talking when I have my AirPods
Yeah.
on.
Oh, okay.
They see me go in the other room.
Yeah.
And I'm not here, but I'm still talking.
So what's this?
So you could put your sashimi in this. You could put your cucumbers in this. You could put your
for like
avocado in this. You could put your edamame in another one. You could put the salsa in another one. I have 6
and then
of
what?
these.
It's
And then you take the charcuterie board, which I got from intern Megan on her last day with me.
Oh yeah, that's so pretty. I was wondering where that came from.
Yeah, intern Megan gave this to me as a gift because she saw me run across town to Lene's to get, so this is my own charcuterie board that I got as a gift from intern Megan. That's so nice,
But
right?
technically the fish is not cooked.
It is not cooked, but
Just
nobody,
to be literal
there
here.
is not a charcuterie policeman out here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just making sure. Okay, so that's all we have for our bowls. There was one other thing that we completely forgot. I'm pulling out my phone because I want to show you guys because I think this is amazing and this changed the game of our sushi bowls, is that Trader Joe's has a Japanese multi-purpose seasoning. I'm sure many of you have tried this before.
Maybe not.
It's called furikake. Okay, here it comes.
Furikake.
Nobody text me anything weird while I'm showing my phone.
Over to the right. There you go.
Okay, so it's that. Basically what it is it's like a dried seaweed, and then like some seasoning, and it's just really good and it makes it feel much more professional.
Right.
And it just tastes more like something you would get at a restaurant. So that changed the game. It's really good. It's light. It's just, it just gives it those Japanese flavors. So the next thing that we do, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm not going to cut into this because this is just not ready. It's not as red as all the others, like as an example. See the difference in color? So I took it off this morning because I couldn't believe how red it was, and it was in the back. And when I saw how big it was like, oh, I think that was like on its way to becoming a beefsteak tomato, but I picked it. So I'm going to set it over here. Okay.
Okay, so then you want to dress it just like you would a salad, right? So we have all different things. In our house, we'll use like a little bit of soy sauce, not too much. You have the coconut aminos, which is basically just, and we actually do tamari. We don't do soy sauce.
And what is the difference between tamari and
I knew
coconut?
you were gonna ask me that. I don't actually know. I think that they're both gluten-free alternatives, and we're not gluten-free in our house, but I think they're just gluten-free alternatives to soy.
Well, also there are issues with soy. You know,
Well, this
say hi to Nancy Kalujan.
Hi, Nancy. This is a soy-free alternative, but I mean, obviously we're not afraid of soy because we're using the soybeans, but the edamame, which are soybeans. So anyway, here she has the coconut aminos. We use tamari. Soy sauce will do the trick. It's all the same thing.
And what is tamari?
It's also a gluten-free. Somebody else probably on there knows what tamari is, but it's a gluten-free.
Oh, and Brenda Berman is here. Say hi to Brenda.
Hi, Brenda. Okay, so we pulled out sriracha also, and then I also pulled some sweet chili, like a sweet and sour sauce.
I love that.
So dress it as you see fit. If you want a little kick, I would put some of the sriracha on it. I think you could get like a really good ponzu, which I should have looked this up. We couldn't find ponzu, but I should have looked it up. Ponzu is kind of like, it's soy sauce cut with something citrusy, and I don't know what, lime maybe?
Oh.
You guys all probably know way more about this than I do. Good to see you too, Brenda. So anyway, whatever flavors you like, I think would be really good with sriracha. I think I sometimes do like the soy sauce or soy alternative, and then I just add like a little bit of this just to give it the flavor, because this can get a little bit heavy, and I think it is sugary. But I always like something sweet with my salty.
I'll tell you what I was going to do. So talk to them for just a minute, and sometimes we play this game together where I have different ingredients, and I ask them to decide what goes on what. And then you can taste it for them and tell them how they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to taste anything, but okay, that's fine. So those are our bowls, and they're so easy and they're quick, and we drew it out so that we could explain it. I don't know if anybody learned anything different, but maybe it'll give somebody a different idea of just something else you could have for dinner. If you don't eat meat, you don't eat fish, I don't see why you couldn't cut up some chicken and put this on here if you didn't want to do the salmon, or you could do it completely vegan and just, Brenda adds honey to a drop of sauces. That's a really good idea. I think you could make these any way you want. They're kind of like a little bit of a kitchen sink. You just kind of throw in everything that you have left or whatever you want to use, but it's kind of with a Japanese flair to it, which I think is cool. Yeah, so I think a lot of these would be really good too. I know everybody's all about the Temecula olive oil company.
So this is fresh lime, and you mentioned lime, so I think this would be a great oil to put on the salad. And then I brought the hatch chili.
I bet that's really good.
Yeah. And so Lisa said she'd have to remove the fish and seaweed.
That's why I think you could do like a teriyaki chicken instead, or just a marinated chicken would be good if you do chicken. I think you could do this vegan and make it just as delicious.
And this is the jalapeno oil. So
yeah, I bet that's really good too.
Yeah, there you go.
So
we can do that. And that's it.
So she came over, was that Sunday night?
Yeah.
So
Well,
she
no,
came
because it was before
Monday
last
night?
week. I started promoing.
Oh, last Sunday night then.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been any Sunday because
Yeah.
we're always making this. But
It was
she
10
came
days
over
ago.
and I was just like cutting it up real fast, putting it all down. And I said, "Do you want a sushi bowl?" And she was like, "Wait, what's this?" And I'm like, "It's the easiest thing ever." And I sort of told her, and she's like, "Okay, well, you have to come on the show and make this." And I said yes, finally, because sometimes I'm here when she's filming the show and I'm like, nope, not coming on right now.
I was so shocked when she said she would come, and I was obviously delighted, right?
Well, here's the other problem is that school pickup is always at the exact
3
same
o'clock.
time. And so it's almost impossible for me to do it most days between work and school. But today we had a little opening and here we are. So I don't know if anybody learned anything from me, but
Oh my God, are you kidding?
I don't
Why
know.
wouldn't they?
Because it just seems so trivial. I don't know.
How many people did you lock up today?
How many people did I lock up?
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, not answering.
So let me say this. We started this thing in March when Harmony and her husband were out of town. I stayed with the kids, and Liv and I made dinner every night. Liv got so excited, right, about making dinner every night. So she was coming over here every Sunday, and we were making dinner for like what she wanted, and we were packing it up so she could take it home to eat during the week. And then this one Sunday they were here, and Liv and I were cooking, and Jax got sick and started projectile vomiting.
Oh my God, why are you saying that in front of the food?
And Liv, you know, it's like that moment was just like so bad for her, and so we've never been able to go back and recreate that experience. But obviously it's my dream to like really start that Sunday, everybody cooking together again, and you know, her making dinners and taking either her sauce or her stuffed peppers. Remember, she liked that.
Yeah, meatballs.
The meatballs she loved to make. And
I think anytime I get her involved with cooking, she likes to do it. And anybody that has ever cooked with little ones, it's pretty much the most frustrating process ever because it takes them a million hours to do it, and you could just like chop it up and just be done with it, or they're spilling everything, and it's frustrating. But they're more excited to eat it then because they participated in it. And so if we had more time, it would be ideal.
Yes, but it's not only that. It's that when you smell certain things, your stomach juices actually, as you're prepping it, prepare to receive the, you know, the smelling is all part of what your body gets your body ready for.
Yeah.
And so that's why just like going through the drive-thru and just grabbing something, it's not as satiating as when you're actually working with it and you're preparing it.
Well, and you have an appreciation for how long it took to make whatever it is, and maybe you're not going to just like, you know.
Exactly. So that's it. This
Thanks,
has been a
Dawn.
great day. Yeah, Dawn said, Harmony, you did a wonderful job. So Judy said also, you did a great job. I say you did a wonderful job. I love doing this.
I thought somebody was going to write in and say, don't quit your day job, but
no.
But this was fun. And I think well, I mean, look, it's really good. And
actually, I think you're wonderfully talented and creative. I really think you were born with actually more creative talent than me. Way more.
And I like to do it. It's just that time is not on my side right now. That's all.
And there is not a working mother out there or a working father. I mean, honestly, everybody give her like those thumbs up and those hearts right now. Watch how this happens.
Everybody who works.
Like
it's just
anybody
it's a grind.
who, even if you weren't a working mother, I mean, it's very stressful. Like, and what else do you do in your life where you're judged every single day by the people who mean the most to you? So if you put something on the table and there we go. Look at all that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody says they
just,
can relate. And the key is not to beat yourself up over it. Just do what you can. It's a practice, and do what you can when you can. And this is a beautiful practice. If this makes you happy and makes your heart soar, then everybody will eat it with a soaring heart. If you're miserable when making it, they'll feel that too, and the energy will go in the food, and you don't want that. There you go.
That's right.
Okay, look at everybody. Everybody's got thumbs up. Let's see, Dawn
Thanks,
says,
guys.
thanks for sharing your time. Love to see more recipes from you from Harmony.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, there
Well,
you go.
I only have about 2 more, so don't hold your breath,
We can
Dawn.
help her expand. Look at, they're still giving you hearts and
That's
thumbs
nice.
up.
Well, thank
Okay.
you. This was super fun, and I can't believe people tuned in and watched me.
They
do
did.
this.
We did. We had a very high rating today because of you.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm a hot number on here.
You're a hot number whether you're on here or not, let me tell you. Okay.
I'll come back for cocktails on Fridays. Not this Friday.
Why don't you come when Bing Bach is here?
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen her?
No.
Oh, you've never seen any of the interviews I did with Flo Vinger?
No. I mean, I've seen the links and stuff, but I've never actually seen the interviews.
She is a hoot. So she's coming, I think, next week. At some point, they tried to book her on Tuesday, but I have a cooking confidence coaching client that won the summer barbecue tournament on next Tuesday, so hopefully they'll give us another day. Anyway,
All
always
right.
cook with love on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Go out and spread love like butter.
Like butter.
Love you guys. You want a bro
Bye.
kiss? Mwah.
No, I'm not doing that. Bye.
Okay, bye. Oh my gosh.